Yeah, do you know that the colors of like black nationalism are black, red, and green?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because like every African flag has at least one of those colors in it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's the
I
reason why.
didn't realize that.
Every African flag has at least
Them,
black,
them,
red, or
them
green.
guys took the time to think of shit, didn't they?
Oh, they be thinking about
They be
stuff.
thinking about stuff. I never
Yeah.
saw that. Thank
Yeah.
you for that. I like that.
Yeah,
That's some
it's dope.
revolutionary shit for real.
For
Make
real,
your
man.
own flag, black, green, and
It's funny you should say that's the revolutionary shit. Like basically, the movement was like revolutionary black something, and the reason revolutionary black something begin with G, and the reason why is because red, black, and green are RBG.
right.
So yeah, RBG is supposed to be red, black, and green because every African flag has at least one of those colors in it, and revolutionary black, whatever it is based on that acronym as well.
It's funny because the problem with black people is, everything we do has so much swag and style. Like, you start wearing these clothes to raves and shit. You ain't even going to the marches or nothing.
For
You ain't
real,
been to a
man.
meeting in your life, but you got the red, black, and green on.
Bro, but it's powerful, man, because I see like Chappelle's logo.
Yeah.
That's built off that red, black, and green.
Oh, I'm about to throw that all over my work.
Bro, you didn't even realize I chucked it in here.
I didn't. Okay, I didn't.
I always pick these two wires.
Yeah, but you know what though? The thing is, you never told me
Yeah.
the symbolism.
Yeah, you don't.
But
need to,
I like it because
you don't need to know it. But you remember,
Yeah.
I showed it to you in terms of when they
What about
worked-
Caribbean flags? Did they add them into the? Hey, I'm asking.
I
Trinidad
don't
has
know.
red.
I'd have a check.
Jamaica
for that
has green in it.
yes.
Yellow, black, and green in it.
They say gold. They don't say yellow.
They don't say gold.
they don't say. They don't allow yellow. It's
So it's gold,
gold,
black.
green, and black.
gold,
Black.
green, and
Yeah.
black. So they got green anyway. They can
Yeah,
have
they got
gold. Green and black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? Whatever. St. Lucia, they got a flag.
Then I got a napkin. Bro.
No, I'm not. Shout out to all the St. Lucians. who listen.
Ah,
I'm
you know, I'm
taking the
thinking.
piss.
I just had to
It's
say it
African
because it
banter,
was
it's African
funny
banter,
and it
it's
came to
banter.
my head.
Yeah,
It
but
was
you know.
banter. It was banter.
Yeah.
But yeah, they worked into Black Panther. That there's a scene where T'Challa walks in with Denai Guri and Lupita, and they're wearing red, black, and green as well. And then there was like when we were shooting the Black British comedian sketch, I worked it into that. Like you guys are wearing black, red, and green, and so I worked.
Right.
Like that. Anyway, that's just some things that you begin to start to notice. Like it gets worked in, especially if you're doing something that's supposed to be black. Like
Interesting.
you start to notice a bit more that there's the working in of the red, black, and green.
Because of okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. It's deep out here, bro. How you been doing, man?
It's been good, man. This month has been strange. The weather, it's just,
Weather's all over the gaff,
it's
bro.
disgusting. It's depressing
For
and
real.
encouraging at the same time. One minute you wake up stressed and you're like, oh, but it's a beautiful day. Shit, it's gonna rain, and then you just
Bro,
I had to put
can't
money.
wait for
I
that
had
here,
to
man.
top up the heating,
You had to top it up.
bruv. You know when you just summertime you just let it ride. You don't really care about central heating.
I mean, I ain't topped up for a while, bro.
But you get the bills.
We do bills out
Damn,
here,
that
bro.
must hurt.
We just find out later.
Damn.
They just tell you you
You
owe
can't even
this
argue. You
much.
can't even argue in it.
This
I'm
is
using
it.
this much heat.
But that's the thing, though. They,
How
really,
you gauge heat?
let's not lie about it. When they send you that bill, you really doing calculations like, okay, 3 units, 2.6p.
Oh, they're going
per
again,
unit.
topping up that heat.
Nah, man, especially when you're family as well.
Have you seen
Like,
the water one? Ah, the water breakdowns are libby.
bro, do you know
They can't waste.
you're supposed to catch that? and
Don't
throw
waste
it-
no water. That's a lip. You know what? Yeah. By the way, waste is.
They just do that on estimation as well.
Right,
They
yeah,
just go
look
like,
how much you've wasted. They just assume you're gonna waste this much water. That's a liberty.
they
bro.
literally just look at you and go,
Yeah. He gonna have
50
two
pounds.
showers. You know the mad thing, yeah? Waste for me could be classed as just, you know when you wash the plates,
Yeah.
you put them on, you just a little wash on your hand and just flip water down.
Yeah.
I'm counting that as,
you have to pay for that. You gonna pay for that?
You gonna pay for that extra rinse.
Oh, you gonna flick water into the sink real quick?
Can you imagine when I was talking to one girl, she goes, I brush my teeth in the morning, I brush my teeth before I go to bed. I'm thinking, man, your water bill must be a madness.
Bruh.
Can you imagine if when you think of it like that,
Yeah.
like the counting waste.
Yeah.
So by the way, that's just me and my brother in the household.
Yeah.
Imagine like a family of 5.
Bruh, they just make it up.
They make it
They
up.
really just make it up.
What a hustle.
Unless you tell them you want a meter to measure,
Yeah.
they just give you estimated billing.
Yeah,
and
even with
estimated
gas.
billing is just based on
based on what they think.
like they just look at you and go, yeah, I think £50.
You know the mad thing?
Mad.
Also, if you live in a massive house,
Yeah.
but your estimated gas bill is a madness.
Well, that's when you go and say, definitely give me the
Right,
meter.
because you need to.
Yeah, because I'm definitely using less than you think I'm using. But what happened to me one time actually was I was living in a masonette. So we're living on first and second floor, and then there's like a ground floor flat. Now, the people that moved in downstairs kind of gave the wrong address. It was always kind of a bit weird how the numbers were done. So it's like, imagine it was 16 and 16A. So they've gone in and basically they didn't see 16A, so they just kind of put in, are we A, are we B? I don't know. We're on the ground floor, maybe we're A. So they've gone and put 16A. So they've basically put themselves in with the water company as though they live in our place.
Okay.
They've been paying their bills. And then basically I wasn't on top of it, let me not lie. But like, let's say a year and a half passes and one day I'm like, hold on a sec, I swear I ain't paid no water bill for like a while now. I call up the company, they're like, oh, okay, we see what's happened here. When the people moved in downstairs, they took your address. So basically you haven't been paying for this much. Therefore you owe us £400. I was like, what? Pardon? What do you mean? Bro, from there on, pardon?
I hope you fought that.
What do you mean?
Like the £400.
Fight it, bro. What if they cut off the water?
They can't cut off the
bro.
water. They can't.
You telling me they? You telling me
can't
there's
cut
some
water.
people out here? You're not. They're not allowed to cut off water.
No.
So if you don't pay for water, what happens?
The thing is this, yeah.
Bro, I got scared because I was like, I don't want to end up.
I don't know what happens. I don't know.
Bro,
But,
now you have to pay that.
I don't know what happens.
What if I bring a girl over and she tries to flush? I'm like, yeah, you know how the water be.
Hypothetically speaking, they couldn't cut your water off. Because at the end of the day, one of those flats was not paying for water.
Well, they were paying, but they were paying for
your
our house.
water. So that means their water wasn't getting paid for.
Well, this is it.
But their water didn't get cut off.
But what they're saying is that basically
You
they've
should
been
have
paying.
just rolled that one out.
But then what if they come up with an £800 bill one day or whatever?
And what are they going to do? Come with the water department.
Bro, you never know.
I know you're in there, Nick.
They might bust out the door with water guns.
Come out with water guns.
They got the super soakers on me.
Police all coming out. That's what happens when you know. Boy, you think they were gonna flip in? What's it called? They're gonna. What's the name of that American torture drill? What's it called? Where they pour you buckets of water over your head.
Oh, flipping waterboarded you.
Waterboarding. They're gonna waterboard you. It's the waterboard.
Yo, what if they pull out them civil rights cannons on you?
The host.
It's like, and they charge you for the wastage.
All it was at the home every time the fire brigade came by. But you know what? You know the funny thing? You know the waterboard thing? Oh, Sean Mayo had the worst joke.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. It's probably something wild.
I've ever heard in my life. He said initially I had an issue with waterboarding till I realized the first 2 liters are actually good for you. Hey, that is what I call timing and joke writing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just incredible. It's I used to really be against waterboarding until I realized the first 2 liters are actually quite good for you.
Fantastic joke.
After that, you're just like, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So it don't matter who got waterboard after that.
For real, man. For real. Fantastic joke.
You know, it's just, I just like stuff like that. And that's just the beauty, I guess, the skilled comedians, I guess we would say. Oh, that is the skill of comedy, you know, taking a subject and completely taking someone on an angle you didn't even see coming.
I love it. I love it, man. And especially when you're a skilled joke writer like that, you can write a joke that basically, you can almost perform that anywhere. Like, it's such a good joke because it just takes something that, you know, that first 2 liters, that thing there is like such a really good bit of pre-knowledge that most people know that
absolutely
2 liters a day.
Good for you, yeah.
Oh my goodness, I didn't even think of that. Anyway,
but you know, that's his mind though as well. So he's got a tortured mind.
Yeah,
he?
exactly.
I remember I performed him in one and he just did his joke. He did that joke and everybody was kind of uncomfortable. And his next line made me scream from the back. This is him. I'm not for everybody.
But that's that stagecraft right there. That's that stagecraft.
Like, if you thought it was gonna be, you know, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Uncle Smith, Uncle Phil type vibe, you came to the wrong show.
Nah, bro. He's And for real, that's that stagecraft right there, where you can basically ride a situation where even though, whether you're right for the audience or not, like that guy.
Can you imagine the only people that they were all uncomfortable and they were all watching him. He was the only one on stage watching a bunch of people look at him, and he was the only one comfortable. But, not for everybody. that means, you know what that means? I've accepted myself.
Of course, bro.
Are you guys okay?
If anybody's accepted themselves, it should.
But that's where you need.
He knows how everybody sees him.
Yeah, and that's where you need to be on stage. You need to accept yourself.
I miss that unabashed self-acceptance, man. I miss that
unapologetic self-acceptance.
Yeah, because do you know what it is about the stage as well? The stage is, I think, it's the only job left where you can tell the truth. I feel like
I don't think you can tell the truth on the stage anymore. No.
Well, now they're coming for it.
You can't be like, I'm standing with Palestine. You just see me do this.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing with that. It's harder now, but you can.
But you're done.
You can do it.
You could do it then, not now.
Bro, Nabil goes on stage in support of Palestine all the time, bro.
Yeah, but he ain't going to be doing it much more. Not since he started doing the chef jobs. Not if you're going to keep working.
To be honest, yeah, in terms of performing on stage, maybe TV is, a bit more
I see
protected.
what you mean. You can do
but
that,
but on the stage, in terms of the audience there, you can go up there and tell the truth.
Yeah.
And it's like every other place in society.
Oh, would you say tell the truth? Or is this you can go up there and express your truths?
Well, I think...
Because it's not the truth, it's expressing yourself.
I think that's for the purpose of this, they're one and the same. Like, the truth is that I think this. That's fine. You can say, I don't like...
dogs,
Republicans or Tories or Labour voters or whatever it is, and if you make it funny, we'll let you get away with saying almost anything. That I think is so precious that you have to protect that at all
But I
costs.
also believe if you can sing, we'll let you get away with anything.
Kind of.
Hey, Brian McKnight started the song, "Let me show you how your pussy works." When I saw the lyric, this is me. Come on, Brian McKnight, man. When did you become this classless? What are you, genuine now? Then he sang it. This is me. Well, you know what? Fair play. Show me how it works. Because the vocals were amazing.
Bruh.
And the line was, "Let me show you how your pussy works." But if I said that to you like this, excuse you, when
if you said that to me, I'm kicking you out the studio, bro.
No, here's the thing. If you said it to a girl casually, that's disrespectful.
Yeah.
You should get punched in the face. Yeah. You sing it. She might take offense, but she will compliment the voice though.
I mean,
please don't disrespect me like that. But have you ever thought about going into singing?
Yeah, to be fair, like musicians get away with a lot as well, but I think it's harder for them because usually they have to try to rhyme it.
No, but I don't know. But yeah,
let me show you your pussy works. Let me show you how that booty twerks.
Right.
You have to try.
Kelly, fuck him all the time. Every time we bring him
up, every time
podcast, fuck that motherfucker all the time. However, feeling on your booty, tell me that was not true. Man took it to opera. And the choir like this. Like
there was a real sound engineer in there that was like, we need to like roll that back one more time, Rob. Can you get back in there?
Kelly was in the boot. I can't hear the boot. Can you double up my vocals? I can't hear the booty. There we go. Turn my mic up louder. But yeah,
funny you should say that. Actually, I was just laughing about this with my homegirl. She was putting me onto Rema, the Nigerian artist, young guy. Anyway, he's got a song called Booty. It's called a song called Bounce. Sorry. Girl, I love the way your booty bounce. It's just one of those booty bounce songs. Anyway.
And the award for Booty Bounce Song of the Year goes to.
For real, bro. For real. This brother here spent the whole time talking about I want to see your booty bounce. And he was saying hella questionable things in that song that like make no sense. One of the lines was like how whenever I see your booty is soggy. I was like, soggy?
You know what? Again.
What's going on?
I hear you, but like, remember we spoke about this with the thong song. You can't, when it's and I actually spoke about this. I was trying to explain this with Eminem. And how, Eminem doesn't really have the club tracks.
Yeah.
Because he's too skilled a rapper.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to make it very, very simple.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, Eminem, all you need in those clubs where you're trying to whine on a girl and get little, all you need is, I saw her over there, I bought her a drink, she was thirsty, I made her think. You're like, yeah, that beat was fire. That beat was good. I'm with that. You ain't really. You don't want to hear the intro. Eminem will come on to that song by the bar, but the subliminal, back part to the bottom of the thing. You're like, wait. What this? That was fire.
Whoa.
What was that? What was that? You can't whine no more.
It's pencil suspenseful.
Right. It's too much to think about to get to think.
Yeah.
And that's the same with the soggy. Look at Thong Song. It's one verse. It's one verse.
That's wild.
He didn't write 2 verses because he knew I ain't got 2 verses in me of this. The first verse, ooh, that dress looks scandalous. And I know another nigga couldn't handle this. So she's shaking that thing like who's the ish? Wait. He wrote that. Who's the ish? ISH.
Yeah, because he couldn't write SHIT.
Because, I'm thinking radio here.
Yeah, he's like for radio plays.
But they're looking at ISO. What rhymes with ish?
Like everything if you put ish.
When they're looking at ISO, he said devilish, but they're looking, he probably went through a few words. But they're looking at ISO envyish. Now that ain't a word. Envyish ain't a word. You're going around devilish.
I feel like this is how the writing room at Kenya Barris's offices goes. Like, oh, we're going to do blackish. Okay. We're going to do mixed-ish. Grown-ish.
So then he goes, she used to dance to the hip-hop spots.
Cruise with the cruise to connect the
dots. So was that? What was that?
Cruise with the cruise. So CRUISE
okay, so she
with the
danced at the hip-hop
CREW.
spots. Cruise with the cruise to connect the dots.
Not just urban. She likes the pop.
The pop, okay. Because she was living that vida loca.
And he got sued for that line.
He didn't get sued. They knocked the door like the Thong Song.
They demonetized him mad quick. Living la vida loca, you know.
For that line.
For that line.
Hey, Ricky Martin didn't get paid, by the way.
Mad.
They got paid.
Ricky called
in. I heard y'all. Yeah, we can drop it like 230 on that. Then I could put something on it. So, then we go into the chorus.
Man, they do Ricky right, man.
Do Ricky right. Then we go into the chorus. She had dumps like a truck. Truck. Because if you don't say it 3 times, you won't know it's a truck he's talking about.
Do you know? But that is actually a linguistic programming skill. Like when you're teaching kids, you repeat something
right.
3 times.
Absolutely.
So
it's also a rule of comedy.
Exactly.
Also because it's a catchy arse line.
And that's what I'm saying.
And
so he was actually quite clever there.
Very. It's a quintessential pop hit.
Yeah.
You can't complicate that.
Yeah.
In those jeans. Remember I told you by Genuine, I don't need extra lines.
Yeah.
Other than how do I get in those jeans? Now, if I want to, like Music Soul Child would be like, teach me how to love. You know, like, that alone lets you know I need to slow down on this one.
For real,
I was told the true definition of a man was to never lie, work till you die, got to provide. You're thinking, dang, this nigga talking to my soul.
Yeah.
That's why you can't play that in a slow jam club because you start crying.
Okay.
But that's why the slow jam one is freak me, baby. Oh yeah. They didn't even sing the verse. That's how easy that song was. Baby, don't you wanna stay? They spoke the whole track. Because the hook did everything you needed. So in defense of Homeboy, he said, when your booty is soggy. Now, I don't know how he's going to sell that, but he just knew, look, man, I need to get this hit out.
Bro,
look at Davido.
I said like booty 15 times in a row. I think he was learning from that R. Kelly school.
Look at Davido on Madame Duru.
Yeah.
The first verse, he takes the absolute piss.
What does he even say here?
I said, oh, hell no.
It's true.
I said, and we didn't answer the question.
How did we let that slide,
because
though?
It was a banger.
It was a banger, though.
It was a banger.
And I think we there's I don't know, there's no other word to describe it except effigy. But you know when you say Emma Dami Duro?
Basically.
It's like, there's some gas in it that like,
I'm fed down, you do that, and you're
like, people start tapping in. People that have never been held back in their life will be like,
no one's been held back. I told you, it's the same thing with the many men when people be in the club like, wish death upon me. You're like, who?
Yeah, for real,
who
bro.
Wish death upon you.
For real,
and why?
For real.
Like, how parents be like this? For me, sit down. When that song was playing, you were really playing. Who's wishing death on you? You're like, I'm just enjoying the song.
When I first started, I had a joke about
funny.
that, how guys be in the club listening to I Get Money, and they spend this student loan at the bar. And I just remember thinking like, there's something that this music does that makes you go, do you know what? I don't even need the money anymore. Let me just enjoy what this feels like. Let me enjoy
the feeling.
And that's the vicarious feeling.
Even the Cardi B, girls, Luke.
Yeah.
It's like it's just that innate, that inner persona that you embellish.
Yes.
If this could be you.
Yeah.
It's funny because that brings me interestingly to the Tupac quote
Nice.
or this music talk. And I was thinking, because it's funny how you brought up the guy, just another one of those booty songs. So I was just on the way here, I was listening to Unconditional Love.
Okay.
And there's a line on the Tupac he says, and my mission is to be more than just a rap musician. The elevation of today's generation, if I can make them listen. And he goes, prison ain't what we need, no longer stuck in duty, time to plan, strategize, my family's gotta eat. But that line, the elevation of today's generation, if I can make them listen. And I felt how much Nigeria needs a voice like that. A person who really wants to elevate the generation and make them listen. I was listening to Wale Soyinka during the week. Yeah.
Man took it straight to Nobel Prize.
But this is where it stemmed from. That thought. Because he said we've created a generation of trolls. That all Nigerians know how to do online is troll.
Wow.
That's all they do is troll. No one's pushing any agenda. No one's pushing any thought process or any kind of logic. No contribution within the continent. More time it's outside.
Yeah.
And how we're just losing the generations. No one's challenging no one. It's all efficy. It's all another booty song. And whereas it's great and it's nice, we are losing because we only see ourselves. Nigerians only pat themselves on the back when it's outside of the continent. You're the nasty mathematician in Nigeria. Hey, best math in Germany. 10 doctors in this. And we praise that. But our generation, the people in that country, fading away. So what's the message now? It's not make Nigeria better. It's let's get out of Nigeria.
Of course.
And then come back and flex on Nigerians.
Bro, it's too deep. It's too real. But you're spot on. And I think, there's an element to which when you look at the fact that Nigerians really do well outside of the country, it really speaks to what we could be. So then you have to ask yourself, well, what's wrong with Nigeria? Is it that there are too many Nigerians, or is it that there's just an environment that doesn't, allow for this to allow you to prosper?
It stems from birth.
From birth?
It stems from birth. The birth of the nation.
Okay.
The parents are...
You mean the roots are at
the... roots are... It's at the roots. The parents are not them. We were birthed by white people. The country was created by white people.
Yes.
It was an idea.
Yeah.
No sense of how would they...
A mere geographical expression. That's how it was referred to by one of the four founding fathers of Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah. He said it's a mere geographic expression. Let me find who that.
And so, when you look at it like that, and you have to really, really deep this in the sense where, think about it. You have a bunch of people living in the same country, in the same house. Yeah. And they all want to run the house.
200 languages, 200 languages in that country.
200 languages. So you have cliques. So you have crews. You have, people you can't trust and so on and so forth. And that's been the beginning. That's been the foundation of that country. A country of people who are not supposed to be together. If this was a boy band, they'd have broken up long time ago and pursued solo careers. And then they'll come back every now and then and do the Glory Year tour.
True.
But my point is...
It was Obafemi Awolowo.
Awolowo, my dad's favourite politician. He loves Awolowo.
Yeah, he said Nigeria is not a nation. It is a mere geographic expression.
That's cold, fam. That's
cold
ice
game
cold.
Right there.
That's ice cold.
That's cold game.
But that's not a nation. If you look at this country, I was thinking about it the other day when a black person does so well in this country, it's well done, black person. Not well done, one of the children of the soil. Well done, look what our children can produce. Yeah. It's well done, black person. Yeah. And so our constant need for validation from white people is not necessarily validation from white people. It's validation from the country that we feel like we belong to. Yeah. Because we live here. Yeah, we grew up here. Yeah. Our best memories are made here. So when we want them to acknowledge and say, we love you, right or wrong, but this is what we brought to the country. Yeah. However, it's separated as in it's a black achievement.
Yeah. I mean, okay, but put it this way. I, as somebody who has, been to private school, gotten into, some elite institutions in terms of the university I went to, and then had a chance in my career to, I'm not saying I'm anywhere special, but I've had a chance to perform on television, write at the BBC. These are big institutions within this land, and I've had access in, and yet what I crave the most is my own people throwing the chairs up in the air at Sunday service. So for me, it's like that.
Or
that
I
acceptance.
don't think that's what craves the most. I think that's what satisfies you the most. I think that's what satisfies us the most.
It's both.
It's not. I mean, what we crave is success. You take it any way it looks.
True to a certain extent, though, because you always seem like Pryor was successful. You know the time he walks off stage?
Who?
Pryor.
Yeah.
The time, at the moment he walked off stage, to look at some people looking at it would say he was successful.
Yeah.
Right? He was sold out a whole concert, a whole tour, in fact. But that wasn't what he wanted to do, right? So he goes right back to the bombing and doing all this, working his new style, getting the Cosby out of him and so on. Comes back and then gets success more on his own terms. So I don't think we want success just any way it comes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a certain way that it comes that even if this country embraced you,
yes,
if your people said, nah, that guy's
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I understand what you mean.
Yeah,
I understand. I do believe it's how you are wired as a person. So you're right. Even if this country did embrace you,
yeah.
If this country embraced me, for instance, and young Nigerians in diaspora, and black people in this country didn't recognize my voice, that would trouble me.
That's what I'm trying to say as well.
Me. But some other people,
because some of the stuff that we were doing, the opportunities we're getting in our career, you tell your own people, they'd be like, "Oh, that's dope. That's dope." They ain't never watched that show. Damn, like you have to start explaining it. Okay, so it's a sitcom. It shows on ITV2.
Hey, the main time they used to kill me when mans would be like this. Hey, from when you coming on? Because I'm watching Atlanta at the moment. Right. So I just want to watch your part quickly and go back to my show.
Nah, that part is mad disrespectful.
You're just like,
no, you love them. No, I love the fact
time.
that somebody is saying,
"Yeah,
I want to watch you." But I think if anything,
but that made me keep game.
We need to learn from that moment. That, like, hold on a second. Clearly, what we actually want out of all of this is not what we give. Even if they give us everything, like I think the only thing we'd happily take from this nation is money, because money doesn't have so and so attached to it. And with our own people, let's not lie. You come back with money, most people will accept you.
It's everybody.
Exactly. Money's sort of a universal kind of thing.
Attract. It's universal. Everyone's attracted to it.
Yeah, because we know people that are absolute scumbags, but they've got money, and then eventually they can buy their way back in with whoever. Put that aside, though. There's a certain amount to which you want to, what we call like getting love from the hood, or what we call
street fame. Local legend.
Exactly. Even in Nigeria, we have a concept of it. There's something about you want there's a core group of people who you respect and want to belong to, and you don't feel successful until they validate you. Do you see what I'm saying? And I think that's the key takeaway here about this country.
I think a lot of the times though, once we get validated by black people, because black people always validate you first, and then once you get onto the mainstream and stuff like that, the switch up sometimes is a bit.
I think
that's when you see them saying, black people we need to start dressing better. Yo.
There's two routes. No. There's one where you get validated by the mainstream first, and then black people clock on. That's the best one. I personally think
that's the best one.
Yeah. If you get the black validation too early,
it can get to your head.
No, not even it gets to your head. If you then want to like explore, branch out, first thing they're gonna he got on, he sold out. I got money, he sold out. When you look at the beginning, like when I was growing up, Dizzy's first album, everybody, oh my goodness, amazing. Second album, everyone's like, I banned this guy, man, he's gone commercial already. So solid.
But he had though.
So solid. But here's the thing though, he wanted space to be a creative. Same thing So Solid did.
Yeah.
I think he wanted to try different sounds.
I think he wanted to make money.
Yeah.
I'm mad at that.
But what I'm saying is that we get rid of you when you
because they weren't feeling the music no more.
But
what am I supposed to do? Buy music I don't feel?
But here's what I'm saying. Right.
But he's got his fan base now.
If I know this is different because it's now acting, right? But somebody like Daniel Kaluuya, who kind of came up mainstream, black people didn't put him in Skins. Black people didn't put him in Johnny English. Black people didn't put him in Sicario or any of the roles he got. But
his biggest role black people put him in though.
I know, but for him to get into that space, he came up doing the mainstream stuff, right? He was doing plays.
Well, there's no black movie scene, hold on.
But he could have, if he had come up doing independent black movies.
Like what? Like Attack the Block, which John Boyega came up in?
No. That's not. That one wasn't a black movie.
But it was a black. It was meant to be a black aliens attack the hood.
Yeah,
That's
but
what it was.
So that was all written by white people.
Fair enough, but every
be clear,
film,
that was a
every
Simon
film
Pegg
Kaluuya written,
thing.
every film in this country is written by white people.
Okay,
Name the black film that's written by black people. I can understand if you're saying America, if
Yeah.
it came through the Chitlin circuit in terms of Boys in the Hood. And
Kane
that.
Brown just did a movie, right? Let's
Don't
say
do that. Don't do that.
What, no, I'm saying that there are independent.
But
Freddy
that's not
Krueger
the same
does
level,
movies.
bro. It's not the same. What I'm saying to you is this: for you to use the same example, I get it, but we'll only work in America because we don't have a big enough movie.
Okay,
scene
let's
there.
do one in America then, right? So if you
Tay
came up,
Diggs, Maurice Chestnut, and them man there. I hear what you're saying.
okay, but them man came up doing like that was kind of black Hollywood.
Of course, and that's what I mean. We don't have a black. If we had a black, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
But Kaluuya had to do those shows because there's no other alternative.
Okay. So very few of them get to come up doing that and then like truly express themselves and do. What if Tay Diggs wants to do a flipping film noir kind of role?
It flopped. He did Equilibrium with Thingy. It flopped. And guess what he did after that? The Wood. No, I'm joking.
You're gonna come right back home.
Oh, they always come back home. You have to. You have to
come back
You
home.
gotta
But
come
I'm
back
saying
home.
that like sometimes when you get the black validation too early, you don't really get the chance to really grow and expect. Even for yourself as a stand-up, you got love from the black community very quickly, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't necessarily have the full range in which to express yourself comedically. You had to go outside later on, and now you got man asking you, "Hey, you still doing the comedy thing?"
Yeah, but that's
Whereas
because
if you came up, let's say you came up doing the mainstream stuff,
Yeah.
you blew up big,
Yeah.
and then now like let's say a bit more like closer to like Richard Blackwood's career. And now you're back at the black shows. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's big, Fumbi, Fumbi."
But
big,
that's
big Fumbi,
back
that was
at the black shows. It wasn't a good look because he fell, not because he ascended. What I'm saying to you is this: black people don't go to see Lenny Henry. Not in numbers.
but
and
Lenny
he's
Henry don't
big.
come to see us.
Right. So my
Yeah.
point is, it's not about. I understand what you're trying to say. The thing is this. Black people. What I was doing was tailoring to my audience.
Yeah,
You understand?
Yeah.
And that's why I got the validation quickly. To become a better comedian, you have to
that's my point.
You have to
though.
challenge yourself. Challenging yourself is going to different rooms. Because the point is this. The point works, but white people don't have that struggle. White people don't have to go to black people.
Well, some do. Some who want to cross into new
No, they don't.
levels.
Every white person that does the urban circuit is because they're not popping in the white circuit.
Not true. Bill Burr.
No, I
Burr
mean
is
in
not-
this country.
Okay, in this country.
And Bill Burr, he had to really love black people. They loved him.
No,
Before
but he
could pop-
put the work in as far as I was
He,
concerned.
he was a dope comic. Though.
He was somebody that said, "You know what, black
And he
room,
didn't
wherever
pander
I'm
to
gonna
what he
do
didn't
it."
pander to black people.
Exactly.
Like some people come in, "What's up, yo? I know how white boy can't dance," and black people like, "Oh, he's nice, he's trying."
Yeah.
Bill Burr came and said, "Why do you guys use cream?" It's like, excuse you. You see what I'm saying? He didn't pander to black audiences.
He didn't, I mean, that whole bit about
Was
how
amazing.
how we can teach each other stuff.
Yeah, how we can teach each other
And
stuff.
he
You
can teach
don't
him
know about
about
Mr.
lotion.
Glock? Seriously, guy, you gotta check that out. Oh yeah. Or when he was like, why can't you say a black person is fast? Or when he did the movies, he's like, they're down to swimming. And I gotta say, as a white person, I don't care anymore. I don't. And I like that. I like the honesty about it.
Yeah, man. And to be honest, I love those
said
guys.
racism is-
Louis C.K. also.
Yes.
Louis C.K. also.
Louis
So
C.K. pandered to black people, though.
he did it.
He loves black people. Because,
He did.
but you know what I love about Louis C.K.? When he went for that mad, well, he's still going for that madness. He's been blackballed, isn't it?
Oh, yeah,
He's
bro.
done. But when he came,
I still get his emails.
he gets he's done his shows, innit?
Yeah.
It goes, he said when you know what they said, when you fall, you realize who your true friends are. So apparently black people.
Funny enough, what's his
Black
name?
people
said
still
the
show
same
up to
thing.
my shows. Like, what's up? Black people don't judge nobody.
For real, for
We
real.
don't care what you've done.
That-
If Cosby comes out today and has a little tour in Philly, some people will show up.
That was the same point that Alistair made in his show, in his Edinburgh show. That when he was at his worst part, like who was the one that was really there for him? It was black people. We always be there at the bottom, just collectively.
Kathy,
it's gonna be alright, baby.
The girl on Kathy, coming the girl from Saturday Night Live. Kathy, she's a comedian, American comedian.
What?
Catherine,
Catherine.
Kathy, big. She's a big comedian. I can't remember her name, but she had a. I think she wore a T-shirt with a decapitated.
Oh yeah.
Decapitated Trump head.
Yes.
And that was her done.
Yeah.
She said she used the same line. She said, "Black people, when you fall, black people are always there to take you."
Always.
But I know what you're saying in terms of, but what I had to learn personally, it was this is my brother. Stop looking at them as black and white people. Just look at them as a fucking audience.
Yeah.
And once I did that, I understood what I had to do. Don't get it twisted. They're still black and white people. When I was writing my one-man show, there were certain jokes I wasn't about to try at the old rope. I remember I did a line. I was doing a joke. I was doing a joke about R. Kelly saying how, you know, the joke was basically saying, you know, I don't think. So I said when you fall, people just start talking recklessly. Like, you know, R. Kelly, you know, got into trouble. Then people, I always been saying Joe was bare anyway, and I was like, I don't know, you know, I don't think Joe could have just pulled off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he has the budget for that.
Yeah.
So you could pull off a couple sexual abuse cases, but you can't be peeing on
He can smack a girl in the butt.
But you can't be peeing on this. Listen, me, you need to believe you can fly for that kind of court case.
That's a nice line, bro.
That's the kind of level. But when I was at the old, this is me. Do you guys know who Joe is?
Oh, don't do Joe like that.
No,
but, you know,
but it was
outside of the black community, you have to explain Joe because Joe is. He set
it's a
himself up for that.
It's a one name artist.
Exactly, and
like,
it's a very
Joe
popular name.
Rogan, you know. So I was just like,
oh my goodness.
do you guys know who Joe is? And I think one person said yes, and they got the reference only because I Believe I Can Fly is a very popular song.
Yes.
So when you say you need to believe you can fly for those kind of levels, they laugh.
Yeah.
But in a black audience, I didn't have to say, do you know who Joe is? They knew who Joe was.
Of course, man.
So when I said I don't think Joe has the budget for that, they just laughed.
That's pretty good marketing by him to take the name Joe. Like Joe is. If I can make it in Nigeria as Ola, like just simply Ola, that's huge. That's huge.
My name is Joe. I love Joe, man. Joe is one of my favorite. I think I lost my virginity to Joe's album, All That I Am.
I never really was a fan. My wife loves Joe, and I think that's part of the
virginity?
reason I don't really.
What album did you lose your virginity to? Grime. Was it gospel? Hey, imagine imagine smashing to gospel though. Is that possible?
I've done it before, bro.
No, I'm done. I'm leaving.
I've done it before.
I'm done. Hey, what was the song? We Fall Down?
Were you trying to get up for that second round? But we get up.
What was the song? Stomp? What was she saying? He will never put more on me than I can bear. Like, gospel songs be having all the innuendos.
Yo, but there's not that much for some of these worship songs and some of these like slow jams. There's not that much difference in them.
There isn't.
In fact,
it's
one
literally
time
the same thought process.
my phone was on shuffle. I caught myself whining in the shower until I realized it was a gospel song. So came on, I was like, bam, bow. I was like, whoa, okay.
Oh shit, it's going.
Oh.
Give praise. Oops.
Yeah, bro. Some of these worship.
It's
No,
the
but you
same
can.
thought process.
Now, if you're having sex with your wife, why not turn on some worship?
Why do you have to be your wife?
Because that's the only kind of sex that God honors. What do you mean?
Imagine
How
doing
can
that.
you be inside chicks to gospel? Nah.
God is like, this nigga taking me for a joke for real.
Nah, they start polishing your seat in hell, bro. They start putting that reserve side on there. One of the demons take that little cloth off his shoulder. Like they set up the barber chair for you.
Though, man. Smash it to gospel.
Yeah, bro.
What did you do? Do you not know what song?
I can't remember.
I
can't remember.
Wasn't that special, no?
I feel like it might have been Brown Eyes by Destiny's Child. I think it might have
Brown
been.
Eyes?
Yeah.
I don't think I know the song.
I can't remember even how it goes myself. I wasn't focused on the song.
Well,
I feel like that song was like around the time I lost my virginity. I feel like that song was like the go-to slow jam. I haven't listened to it for years.
Mine was Joe, and you know that for All That I Am album starts with baby, I wanna do, and then it goes into it goes on to Don't Wanna Be a Love Scene is the next song, which is another. Remember, 69 was a very good year, and you thought you were a genius because you knew what he was talking about. He's not talking about 1969.
Yeah.
Like, say word. I thought it was the year for real.
Yeah, man, for real. I mean, the first time I figured out what 69 was, I was so proud of myself because I just like figured it out. So I was talking about 69. I was like, oh, if you turn it on this side. Okay, that's pretty clever. I was really very, very proud of myself. I'm still proud of myself. I'm still
happy
proud
for
of
you.
myself.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you, man.
So yeah, and then it was I think one of the best songs on that song is Good Girls. Why are all the good girls taking it? And that's Joe in a nutshell. And why do I keep falling for someone else's dime? Why, Joe? Tell us.
Bruh, this is what we talked about last week, and I was just telling you, bro, I'm sick of these guys that's always trying to get someone else's girl. Those guys are dirty Macs, and dirty Macs
But the thing is
are
this.
losers in my
But
book.
isn't that
Bro.
in the music here? It's so appealing. This is the thing about people. We confuse the music with actual reality.
Yeah,
These are characters that are embellished.
of course,
You
of
know.
course, of course.
You know,
If you speak to
what's it
somebody who's
called?
actually been with
Did you
Joe, she's
see
like,
what
yeah,
I
he's
done?
breathtaking.
Shut up, and the black man's left with the white one, and you're singing it like like that's possible. Like, okay, and I'm a comedian, so I'm like, okay, but we took the black man, so
Hey, where'd you park it?
where'd you park it though? Like the ticket must have been a madness the next day, because if it was West End, that's getting told. And then how did you do this? Like, did you drive there during the day?
We use a zip
Park
car.
the Benz, go home on the bus, or Uber it back to get the white one. But it sounds amazing on the track.
Of course it does.
But the practicality of these things, no one does that.
Practicality is always a bad thing.
One guy goes, and if it was rapping, and if I'm beefing, I'll fuck your girl. And I was like, okay, but how's that gonna, how's that a bad reflection on me?
For real.
So we're beefing, you smash my girl. Okay. Well, I broke up with her as soon as I heard that. and we're still beefing, by the way. And then I thought to myself, what would I do as a comeback if I was rapping? If you fuck my girl, I'll fuck your mum. Because I realized, I figured to myself, I can replace my girl. You can't replace your mum.
Now every Mother's Day you looking at her sideways like,
Can you imagine that? That's low.
I can't believe
like,
you bagged that up.
man's in the prison. You that nigga for my mum? When I see that nigga, man. Because the girl won't be no disrespectful no more. What happened? Man, I fucked his girl. On some G shit. He gonna step to my mama? That's a funny thing about beef. It's their version of the violation. It's like, but you violated too. Yeah, but I didn't violate. Like you couldn't shoot people on Sunday.
Yeah,
It was disrespectful.
It's
You best be in the code. What?
But yeah, come on, man. There's always some rules of engagement. Even when you and your friends are like going at each other, everyone knew that once you cross over into your mum, it's a whole new level to the argument. Look at your face, look at your shoes, look at your blah blah blah. Even look at your dad.
Wait,
all
depends,
fine. Then you
depends.
say your mum, and then it's beef.
Depends though. Depends. If it was crew, your mum was the first one we brought up.
Okay, fair. There is times where it's like
Because I grew up with friends.
I get that. That's the
where
exception.
it's like, what are we doing today? Your mum. That's what we're doing today. You're like, bro, I just said hello. Okay.
I get that, and if you have that dynamic, that's cool.
That's cool.
But in most
Okay,
cases, right? Even if you bump into somebody on the street and you're like, "What's going on? You dumb? Open your eyes." And the person's like, "Hey, look at you! Shut up with your big head." Blah blah blah. All of that is still light banter, light.
Have you had the
insults and
ones
so
where
on.
girls say
someone goes, "Hey, fuck your mum"?
Yeah.
Whoa! Now people feel like they have to start swinging. I never felt that way, but I understood that this is a line.
To be fair, it's a very irrational and immature emotion.
It's very
like,
silly.
Really,
It's very
cry
silly.
for that.
I did punch a guy once.
You punched someone
Yeah,
with
when
your
I-
fist. What was it? Primary two.
No, with my left testicle,
I
bro.
didn't know you fighting it.
Bro, I told you? Maybe I did it on my other pod. I told the few fights I've ever had. I've had a very very
Come
few.
on, like he's an amateur. Yeah, my few bouts.
Literally, bro. I've few little fisticuffs.
Did you lose any?
Yeah.
You got beat up, or was it a draw, or was it one of them ones where you jumped, or was it a 1-on-1 and you just thought, you know what, my uppercut wasn't reaching that day?
The one that comes to mind, it was just an embarrassing tussle, and basically it was like, it's one of those ones where you're playing football, you start you get your ankle hacked at, so you now go back
And
trying
hack
to
him.
tackle, trying to hack him, and then he turns around, you guys start getting into it to tussle, but when we went to ground, he was on top of me.
Pause.
Exactly. So the whole time it was like, basically he's got the better of me because he's already on top of
Pause.
me.
Come on, man.
Bro, there's no way to describe a fight.
He's got the best
without-
of me because he's
Can
on
we
top
just-
of me. I was like, ooh.
Can we just put a blanket
What was the
pause
best of
over the whole story?
Okay, go.
So yeah, so basically it was that, and then like it was
Did
just
they
a
break
lot
it
of
up
like,
too early? And then he got
yeah,
his shots
kind
in.
of. It
He
was
got
like
his
there was
shots
no,
in.
it didn't really go anywhere as like a
Yeah.
fight. It wasn't like we stood there
Yeah.
and gave each other traded blows or anything. But the worst part was I was hell of emotional at that moment, and I was like, I'm storming off. Basically, we all playing. This was in Spain. This was on a school trip to Spain. So I'm like, I'm storming off. I'm going back to the family that we're staying with. As I was going, the ball was like on my way, so I wanted to like kick it back angrily, and I tripped over the ball. I fell over, and
So
that's
you got
why,
her like ugly.
bro. This was I just say like that whole thing was a big L. I just lost
Wow,
in life.
the ball
that
wrapped
day.
you up too.
I was just, you know, when you're already emotional, you're already angry. That's when
Yeah.
you're more likely to trip over something or like
Yeah.
bump
Just
into
sum up.
something.
Someone who you are. I mean, that would never happen to me. I'm just such an OG with it.
Well, of
But
course,
I feel you, bro.
of course.
I feel
Lord,
you.
make me more like Fumbi.
No,
In fact,
you
God,
know
don't
what?
listen
To be
that,
fair,
don't listen to
fair, I've had that same. Well, not that same moment. It was more the aftermath of the fight. 'Cause I got into a fight in school. It wasn't even my fight. It was my friend who was running his mouth.
Yeah.
But then, the
You had to
guy
back it.
who was in the senior year stepped in my. We had personal beef because
Which country was this?
Nigeria. We had side beef because I think we were dating the same girl at the time, but that's another story.
All right, Usher and R. Kelly.
You know what I mean? Same girl. But my house was really close to the school, like
Yeah.
a 7-10 minute walk.
Okay.
So during the summer holidays, my house was a sport. I mean, we had a pool table. So
Okay.
we used to come and play pool in my house, and he used to be in my house as well. So everybody knows me and my brother.
Mm.
My brother's in his year. I'm in the year younger.
Yeah.
But one of those days, you know how your younger brother just be trying to, get attention, just be teasing you all the time.
Yeah.
So we always used to tease the seniors, innit?
Yeah.
And they'll get upset when we run away, whatever. But this one went a bit too far, I guess. And, one of his friends was egging him on. So we get outside and you couldn't fight in Nigeria. It's suspension immediately. Or caned. No, they stopped suspending you. Get caned in school.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is how they teach you not to fight.
This is how they teach you not to fight, getting caned in assembly.
Violence is wrong. Violence
Violently.
is wrong.
Violently too. And this brother, it was outside and he just got into a stupid, and he must have punched my friend. But it's the way my friend hit the deck. I was like, nigga. Like he went proper tumbling. I was just like, now you gotta do something. And it was me and him. So I hit him with a 2-piece. Pap, pap.
Bruh.
This guy, and when he went to punch me, so I ducked. And I went to tackle him. And we both fell down.
Yeah.
And then they broke up the fight. This guy goes to school and tells everyone he gave me the DDT. I said,
I feel like I remember this story.
room around school is Fumbi got DDT. I said, first of all, that's not even a real move. Like, what the hell is this? Like, what do you mean I got a wrestling move, So I'm not even worried about the fact. I'm trying to dispel the rumors. I didn't get DDT though.
That's
but I didn't get
hilarious.
DDT though. Obviously, we'll go
The
back to
first
school.
thing, once someone says you got DDT, there's nothing you can say that makes it sound like you actually didn't get DDT.
There's nothing.
Because when you say I didn't get DDT, the fact that they're hearing you say DDT, they're like,
Which
he's
is not a
definitely
real
got
move.
DDT, bro.
And Nigeria as well. They used to call it bubble gist, which is
Yeah.
fake gist or fake news.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
shit travels fast.
Of course.
It's sweeter than the truth.
Of course.
If you could tell people I didn't get DDT, they'd okay. As soon as you leave, they DDT am. So I'm trying to dispel that rumor before I become the DDT guy.
Yeah.
We get to school. Words traveled back to school, obviously, that we fought. So we're gonna get caned in assembly anyway. I remember.
Wow, you get caned for fights that happen outside of school.
Yeah, we were in our school uniform. We were embarrassing the school. We should know better.
Wow.
So we had to come to school on the
That's
Sunday.
good.
On the Monday.
Consequences.
Shut up. On the Monday. And get
It's
caned.
good. Good for
But
you.
the good thing is it was the weekend, innit?
Okay.
So we had the whole weekend to prepare. And you know how it is when you have a fight in school. Everyone comes to the yard on Saturday. I'm quelling rumors of the DDT. I'm on the phone. Everything. Listen, can we get this out in the press? I'm trying to everyone's asking me questions.
Bro, you can never dispel that kind of rumor. You just have to tell them a better
So
story.
so I knew for me to distract everybody from the DDT, I had to handle the caning situation very well. Yeah. You can't cry on the assembly plus DDT. I ain't getting a dance at the summer party. I'm done for the year. So I knew I had to OG in it. So obviously, there was this girl in my school, yeah. Lucia, that's her name. If she listens to the podcast, which she doesn't, but she got caned in assembly. Now, when girls get caned, they always cane them on their buttocks. That's what they call it. Tell your buttocks.
Bruh.
Or their hands because they're females. Man, them, your whole body is a target. Clothesline him.
It's a canvas for the artist. It's a canvas for the artist. It's like if I'm shooting it, I'll put some classical music on at that point.
Just being eccentric with it, So she come out, yeah. They were gonna cane her in it. I don't know what she did. I can't remember what she did. In Nigeria, you don't have to do much. But they gave her 6 strokes But she just stood there, folded her arms, and just kind of cocked her bum out and just held it. Bro, everybody was like, the whole school. But if she wasn't the buffest going to school that before, she was that day. Everybody was moved.
Yeah, I'll be attracted to the weirdest things.
But you know what
Look how she took them strokes. Look how she took them strokes. 6 strokes, she ain't flipped.
It's so wrong, but there was something so appealing about it. It's the way she posed as well and didn't flinch.
Yeah, that's a bad girl thing.
I was like, bad girl, really now. But the maddest thing is the teacher got to 4 and started laughing. He stopped and started laughing. Even he was like, no, I'm joking. So I went up to her after. I was like, no, what happened? How the hell no, I'm joking. How the hell did you take that without even flinching? She goes, I had jeans under my uniform. I was like, ain't this
Yeah, man,
you're right.
I remember you told me this.
So then I wear jeans
Bruh.
for the assembly because I figured I'm going to handle the same. I had it planned. I had it envisioned the night before. I said, I'm not going to fold my arms here, but I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at the whole, because the whole school's here.
Yeah.
You come out to the front, innit?
Yeah.
So I'm going to just be looking at them as they're stroking me just on some. And then
Man's trying to do some Jesus on the cross now, man.
And then just walk back to the line.
Bruh.
So when they called us out, obviously we come out, I'm telling everybody, I'm walking out. You know what it is, the caning is, it's not bad. It's the way you handle it. So even when they're calling you out, Ola, you have to get into character. You can't walk out like, you gotta walk out like, ain't nothing but a cane thing, baby. Just like,
Bro,
like
this
it's
is how
nothing.
hardened criminals are formed, you know.
No, but no, this is the toxic thing men have to go through.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
Ola, if you show any kind of weakness, no one's gonna talk to you for the rest of the year.
I hear you, man.
So you have to go out on some G shit. I'm cool. I got my jeans on. I said, it's showtime, baby. Principal goes, give them 3. I said 3. Woo! I'm not even gonna look at the crowd. I'm just gonna do the eyebrow.
Give them the people's eyebrow.
I said, I'm gonna give them the people's eyebrow. Ola, she said, on their backs. I said, huh? Ola, see, every man was out front, yeah? As soon as they heard back, every man went to the back. We started doing rock, paper, scissors. Who's gonna go first? Yo, Ola, they gave me 3 on that back.
Bruh.
I didn't look at the crowd. I looked at myself. I said, where you going after this?
I got introspective.
I got deep. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? He came the spirit out me. Hey, you're the first one, yeah? Ola, when the first one hit, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. My spirit jumped out and said, hey, I know you felt that.
My goodness.
Ola, I felt it.
Bruh.
And then he took the second one, yeah? It missed the mark, but went right under it.
Oh.
So at that point, I just did this. The first guy as
I had
well.
the grouping on you, bro.
The first, I was not going to go last year because that's when he was going to save his energy.
Yeah.
The first guy, when just acted a fool, crying everywhere, wailing. Hey, but I was looking at the cable, was doing this. So now you're at the back like, I can't go out like this. So now you have to step up. Oh, what an experience. All because I thought,
Bruh.
Or trying to be cool in school. Hey, I can't lie to you. When we go back to class, I couldn't sit on the back of my chair. I had to lean forward all the time. My back was sore.
Bruh.
It was
You
wild.
had good posture that day, bruh.
But I was a good student that day. Are you listening? Yep.
I'm gonna be good.
I'm gonna be good. Because it was just that. Oh man, that was a funny experience.
That's
because
mad.
and the only thing I was concerned about was my image.
Yeah. That's crazy, And to be honest, that's why I said to you that I feel like this is how hardened criminals are formed, because, there's an element to which when you come out of jail, you have an option to tell one of 2 stories, which is that, the system got me and they beat me down in jail and now I'm going to be a good boy. And then there's like, yeah, that's nothing. I just did 5 years, nothing. Or I just did 10 years, nothing. And you kind of have to play it off as though like, this is part and parcel of your life now. And so, in many ways, I think if someone gave you the option of like, let's say you were more likely to get a dance if, let's say, you showed sensitivity and cried.
which is right in your older years.
Yeah.
They don't want you to be vulnerable.
Exactly.
But at that particular time in school,
I don't even think they really want you to be vulnerable. I think that first of all, I think women think they want you to be vulnerable. until you're vulnerable.
Bitch ass. No, I'm joking.
I think what they want is for once in a while for them to be given access
to
that
your
other people don't get access to, right? But if you hella vulnerable,
act like a man.
when she starts having to cradle your head all the time and like work you through all your issues and blah blah blah, after a while, bruv,
She's gonna fuck the pool boy,
bruv. Basically, not even the pool boy, bruv. Not even the pool boy, bruv. You know that guy that they're always fighting over on Maury, the guy with 3 teeth and 6 baby mamas and whatnot.
He the one stepping in.
He be like, I takes care of mine.
You know, the thing is, like when I was a kid, I used to cry a lot. I was raised, I guess I'm still sensitive, I don't cry as much. But that's what everyone was telling me. Are you a woman?
Bro, that boys don't cry thing, it's toxic because you do need space to vent your emotions. But there's some wisdom in it. That's what I think. I think there's some wisdom in it. I think as a man, the best thing to do is find your private place, a safe place, whether that's with a therapist.
Find your private place.
For real. No, seriously. Where you go to pray.
I'm joking.
If you go and pray in a corner of your house, or you have a therapist that you see, or there's someone you trust, go do it with them. But in terms of the general world, nah.
And I think that's fair for everyone.
Nah, if women can cry right there on the high street.
Black women can't. People don't feel upset when black women are crying. They don't get the same response.
They don't.
It's more of a can't you bear the pain though.
That's the thing. See, that's a weird one because I hear you 100%. I agree with you, and I've been saying this as well because I always said that, you know, when white women were cheering black women on for being strong and independent, don't need no man, white women were doubling down on fragility. And whenever I observe it, I go, what are they pushing you into by cheering you on? When they're saying, oh, I love how strong you are, I love how resilient you are, and all that kind of stuff. And that's the thing. Women's power doesn't come from force. It comes from influence, right? Women's power is not necessarily that they're going to come and beat you up directly, but it's that they can influence a guy to come and kill you. That's where women can do the most damage. Women can start wars just off of the fact that they have the ear of the king. The king can end up doing whatever it is based on what they want. But she might not be the one at the front leading everything. So what they've tried to do is they get a lot of black women to show strength the same way men show strength, which is in force. Can I fight you? Can I argue? Can I browbeat you? Can I whatever it is to directly attack you? Whereas what white women do is they call the police
and cry,
or they cry in public, and everyone else comes. So a woman who can command 5 guys through her tears to come to her defense is much stronger than a black woman who's fighting by herself. Pardon?
You mean the burger franchise?
I can't believe I followed you down that rabbit hole.
But for a second I was like, this nigga talking about food? A woman that can command 5 guys, I was like this.
For real, bro. Think about it. What's stronger? If a white woman and a black woman are arguing, and black woman is tearing her ass up, you know, you stupid ass, blah, 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 even grabs her by the hair, whatever it is. White woman starts crying and 5 dudes show up to her defense. Who's actually stronger in that? Who's got the advantage in that situation?
The white woman.
Of course. Or even if she just calls the police, she's in a stronger situation. And so
is there in that little scenario created, is there a fact that because the black woman knows this is the only strength she's got, she has to display that?
I think she bought into the lie. But
the truth is this: if a black woman is fighting with a white woman, you can't call the police and expect support.
Well, maybe not the police in general. I think some cases you can. The police would just show up, but and you know, sometimes they are kind of impartial, but a lot of time they're biased. We get that, but I think if the relationship between black men and black women was more about vulnerability, then I think more black men would show up. And I think in general, you see it now anyway. Black men do show up and defend black women. There was that. Have you seen that little clip from the fun fair? It was like a fun fair carnival kind of thing.
Where they went off.
Yeah, where basically like the white guy who's on the operator pushed this black woman, and like the whole showed up and stopped this guy out on the ride.
That's not good.
It wasn't good. It wasn't
That's
good.
not the kind of protection they're looking for.
It wasn't good. But in some ways, like that was the strength of her in that moment, was the fact that her being in danger activated everybody. And I think if
You know the
the
worst
more
part,
and more
though?
black women
You know the
start,
worst part?
What's that?
She didn't even need black men. That my brother was in trouble.
I know he was in trouble. He was in
That
trouble.
was in trouble. Hey, let's tell you something. Here. No one can set it off like black women.
And that's part of the problem,
No
though.
one can set it off
They've
like black women.
I mean, the movies even called "Say It Off."
Yeah,
Like
no
they
one can
bought
set it
into
off
that
like that.
image so much that
What?
I
You know,
think
hey,
I think
listen.
if black women were given the space and really believed that they could just relax, be more feminine, be vulnerable, then they
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
say
to
they're
do that.
not more feminine. I just think they are dealt a different treatment. You know,
True.
everybody,
Very true.
even white women are dealt a different treatment. But everybody navigates their strengths and weaknesses in this world.
Yeah.
This is what we all do. You know, as much as black men, yes, we go through all these things, but there's so much that we get an advantage for over some people around who are in the same position as us.
Yeah.
Even as Africans and Caribbeans. Look at how they brought Caribbeans here. Come and work in the mines. Look how they brought Africans here. Come and get educated.
Yeah.
It's again, you're treated different. So you just have to figure out how to navigate with those tools. And I mean, from how we got to this was just the tears. And that's just a powerful thing in a sense where, even just saying it to you then, it just came to me. Like, imagine seeing a black woman cry and not feeling that she's upset. Or feeling that she needs comforting.
There's a lot of healing that needs to happen between us, because like, even though I'm saying this, I also know there are times where I've seen a black woman. I'm not saying specifically because she was black, but I've seen a woman cry and I've been irritated. Now, I'm irritated when white women cry as well. I feel like if you're using tears as a weapon, that already irritates me. But what I don't get is that translation from they're crying because they're vulnerable as opposed to they're crying because they're manipulating the situation, right?
Right.
And I think when you see somebody you genuinely care about, you've got that relationship and you know they're fragile, you want to protect them. I think it's natural within us to want to protect people that we see as fragile. But I don't think we've ever really seen black women as fragile in our lifetime. I think all depictions of black women is almost as if like you might as well leave them to it. They've got it covered.
But then that's the problem.
And that's a problem. You're right.
Yeah, because we always look, and that's the problem for blacks in general. We look, even the term black men don't protect black women. Yeah. We judge everything in this world by what we see or what's depicted on television.
Yeah, you're right.
But we fail to look within our circles. Especially as we grew up in church, for instance. Yeah. And it was a common note. If you touch my sister, it's on. Yeah. That was just it. Yeah. Or any girls in your camp.
We know what we mean when we say she's got brothers. Like,
don't do that. She's got brothers. Yeah. Which means she is protected. Yeah. But what we're saying is when Janet Jackson, for instance, doesn't get this and Usher didn't back it, black men don't protect black women. Yes. It's like you can't use that as a... Because I'm from a clan of black men who will stab. Who are wild for the black women.
The stab clan, bro.
For the black women in their lives.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My sister is fully insured. Yes. You understand? It's on. Yeah. And so she would, if you say to her, black men don't protect black women, she would disagree. Yeah. Because she's always felt protected by black men. But there is a circle of black women who've never had that protection. Yeah. And I've seen that.
But I think the interesting thing is that when you speak to a lot of sisters today, they'll tell you that, like, why should she have to be your wife, your mother, your sister before you protect her?
Because those are the people you always encountered with.
True. But here's the thing, though. What they're trying to say is that there should be this general understanding that if you see black women in trouble, and I'm kind of with you on this. I get where you're about to go, but what I'm trying to say is that I think the societal or community relationship between black women and black men is already so messed up that to expect protection in that scenario is already so far from where we need to be, because we don't have a general level of respect for one another. If you look at most of the, like, we have individual relationships, right, which we understand that each one of them is individual, so that I'm cool with this person, I'm not cool with that person. But in terms of like a group relationship, like, we can say that generally between white people and black people there's some issues. In the same way we can say generally between black men and black women there are some issues. Black men don't feel respected by black women don't feel protected by black men.
But again, that's the maddest thing, because it's such a movie scenario in the sense where who are these black men and who are these black women? I understand black women. I understand it. Don't get me wrong. I understand it.
Yeah.
But these all stems from individual experiences.
They do.
They're not a collective experience.
No, but they are as well, though. This happens on two levels because there's narrative.
Because
because
a lot of the time,
you as a storyteller, you take part in the narrative part, and what happens is people get narratives and they attach it to their experience.
Right.
So one person hurts them, they see a movie about like The Color Purple, for example, and they go, yeah, this is what happens between black men and black women.
But
if
you
start
know the maddest thing though, both parties are toxic.
Of course.
The black man who doesn't think black women respect him is dating the black woman that doesn't think black men protect them. So they both come together and not really sorted out their issues. They brought more issues to each other, and this is a continuous cycle. To
be honest, the whole community needs healing, bro. That's what I've been saying.
And you know what it is as well?
I don't think anybody's truly free from it.
Well, I think it stems from literally living in systems and societies that weren't designed for our healthcare, for our mental state,
100%.
for our mental stability.
100%.
Because when they did slavery, there was no,
when they did slavery.
When they started slavery, there was no plan B.
And bro, here's the thing: there's so much that is consistently reinforcing these narratives.
Yes.
That for us to break up, it's a very concerted effort. You have to be as intentional as the people who put it in place.
Absolutely.
And so, if you look at the fact that so many black men are disenfranchised from places where wealth is created, and they don't believe that they can go and create wealth centers themselves. That's both mental and real life obstacles. Then why won't black women start to feel financially insecure being with a black man? Now they're gonna start going for their own education and so on, and then you're gonna start to get the issue where she's looking at a dude saying, "I don't want any broke dudes. I want a dude who's making the same money as me or more." And then bit by bit, you get that resentment starting to build up because every day now on Twitter you're seeing one tweet or the other each way. That's where you get, the Kevin Samuels discussion and the Derek Jacksons and all the other people that pop up. It's just simply because there are some very root causes. We can't build very simple families. Very simple families. We just need a man and a woman to trust each other, love each other, and commit to one another. Then we need them to have children within that union, and then we need them to have income, and we need them to have an ability to be protected and be safe. And
but that happens every day.
It happens every day with so many holes in it, bro.
Yeah, but that's always gonna be. There's a hole in everything.
100%.
For instance,
but we got way more holes.
Around. But that's the thing. We haven't. We just assume we do.
You think so?
Absolutely. Listen, we make up what 1.7% of this population.
Mm-hmm.
The couples in all those towns we play, the holes that they have in their marriages and their families. I went to drama school where we had to tell the worst stories that happened to us. Mm-hmm. Every black person in that place did not have a story. We were just like, police pulled us over. Every white person, their uncles were touching them. Their dad was abusing them. They were being raped by their parents. And I was like this. As the circle was going around the stories, I started to add sauce to my story. And then the policeman tied me up. Because I figured I can't come with this and bring some light work. I started to think of my life like, damn, I've been alright. I thought the beatings was going to be wild. Till I heard someone say she was touched by her stepdad.
Nah, I hear you, bro. And
so what black people do is, it's a very... The issues we have are there, but we magnify them to the point where it's almost issue ridden. I see my sister's married. So many people in my brother's church, all getting married, all raising kids, all doing the discussions that we talk about daily. But we don't focus on those parties. We focus on the breakdowns. And I think it's a common thing because when I grew up in this country, there was nothing positive about black people. It's now become the norm to expect negativity from black people.
Of course.
Because it's always drilled into you. Who's doing crime? Black people. Who's not foreign? Black people. Those images not only pissed them off or made them feel a way about us, it made us feel a way about us. So we're constantly running from an image we didn't even create.
Yeah.
Because when I look around in where I grew up, I saw nothing but love. I saw nothing but care. When my mom couldn't look after the kids, aunties and uncles would come down.
Yeah.
I grew up in the black excellence and black love everybody fantasizes about.
I know. I'm saying I agree with you because I'm somebody who says I like to make a very clear distinction between what happens on the individual level and what happens on a sort of systemic, societal level, right? On the individual level, let's be honest here. both of us in here, we know what it's like to see a family grow, what it is like to see them, go to church, what it is to see like people go to university, all of these, sort of like bastions of success and whatnot. We've seen it, we know it, it can happen. You've got brother who's very successful as a singer. You've got your sister now. Her business is very prestigious. So it's not like we don't have these. We don't have the ability to overcome barriers. We do, but when we start talking about societal level, now we've got an issue of there's an element to which there's statistics, right? There's real facts that you can look at. You can say this percentage of people do this and this percentage of people get that. That's fine. That's there. There's also people mix their individual stuff in with the society thing. They figure if it's happening to me, it must be happening to everybody because we're all black. But then there's also narrative. And narrative is the key part that I always tap into because I'm a comedian. I tell stories, right? But you have to understand, every time you go on stage, you tell a story. Somebody's relating that to their personal experience and they're building a societal story about what's happening, right? Now, what's happened for a long period of time is we've had narratives about black people, right? Like you just said. And what's happened is it's not just that they said, oh, black men aren't looking after their kids, and then people just believed it like that. They saw a black man who didn't look after his kids.
so they found one.
Exactly. It's called confirmation bias, right? So even though it happens everywhere, you see it here and you go, well, that must be because he's black because I heard that thing about black men, right? And then what happens is you see it again. Then you start to see black men starting to go, we don't stick around for our kids. So now when he's in a situation, he's like, it's normal for me to leave. And so you start to internalize the stories and so on. Black women have told the black narratives to other black women about black men we don't even know about. And they, amongst themselves, they all know it. They all be like, oh, black guy's always like this, black guy's always like that, right? They will tell that story round and round again. Let you mess up one time and just slip into one of those narratives that they've heard. I knew it. My homegirls warned me. Black guys are always like this. You didn't even know it. It was a one-time thing. It was just one time it popped up. Now your whole character's been defined by this story. And that's why I'm saying that, like, you have to have a positive intent from the beginning to tell a good story, right? This is one thing I learned from Western countries. Every country, in fact, apart from Nigeria for some reason, I've noticed, every country wants to tell a story of greatness. Not because they don't have issues.
Nigeria wants to tell a story of greatness, just not within Nigeria.
I don't know, but even for us as the storytellers of Nigeria, listen to what our stand-up comedians say. Listen to what our
Olushola, one that go real like you.
Listen to what our movie script writers are writing. They're writing the worst of us. Even when we were the byline we had in our pilot and even in a lot of our sketches is, see, that's the problem with Nigeria. Exactly. Whereas America tells this like savior of the world story. Britain tells this like old institution, we stand strong, rule the waves kind of story. China tells this productive People's Republic kind of story. Like, they tell a story, right? Why do they tell the story? Because you're going to find something that ties in with the story. You're going to cement the relationship between the two. Let's say an American athlete wins a gold medal. They're going to be like, that's that American exceptionalism that I've been hearing about. And then they're going to go, Americans are great, right? Us as Nigerians, we see stories about people doing witchcraft to use each other for sacrifices and make money. You see somebody die under suspicious circumstances, we go, it must be that juju. I know it because I've heard that story before. When you start to consciously tell good stories, you start to look for good things in people. So for every day I tell a story about Fumbi's the greatest comedian you've ever seen. Fumbi's the greatest comedian you've ever seen. Fumbi's great. Believe it. People would now hear a joke that makes them laugh and be like, yeah, that guy was telling me, that guy was right.
No, you're right. Because I saw a wise African proverb or saying where it said, until the lion learns how to write, the story will always favor the hunter.
Of course. Exactly.
And that's been one of our Achilles heels and across the time. I remember I wrote a joke saying, growing up in the 80s, the Nigeria PR department was non-existent.
Bro.
We were just letting any images slip out.
Of course, bro. We around the world, we show all the worst parts of Nigeria. They never show you what flipping New Addington and Croydon looks like.
Yeah, but I don't care about
around
that,
the
though.
world.
I don't care about showing the worst parts of Nigeria because Nigeria is the worst part. I don't want to see Banana Island and all that bullshit. I'm not interested in that shit.
No, but it's not specifically about Banana Island. The issue here is that like there are areas
Don't
of
show
natural
me.
beauty.
Don't. Yeah,
There are
so
areas
what?
of
Don't
there are
show
areas
me,
where people
don't
are
clean
functioning.
your room because I'm coming around today.
No, it's not about cleaning your room.
That's what
because
they would know. When they say images of Nigeria, they never show you the nice parts. What's the nice part of Nigeria? Tell me.
bro.
For someone that lived there for 6 years, please tell me the nice part of Nigeria. What? Because they have road. You know, in Nigeria, in this part, they have elevators. So, one time, someone guy said to me, you know, we have escalators. This is me, really. In Dalston, Kingsland, one of the most rundown shops, there's an escalator. So don't show me, don't gas me, because you know the beautiful thing. I don't care about the good parts. There's life in the bad parts. There's life in those gutters and stuff like that. Things happen there. You hear stories. You hear gist. The best gist in Nigeria is not in the rich parts. It's in those face me, I face yous.
I hear you, bro.
And the thing about Nigeria, what they don't understand is this. This is what Shoyinka was trying to say. Your people are your biggest commodity. Do you know why China tell a story of Republican and America tell a story of heroism and British do all of that? Because the world starts to look at you. My uncle said to me, I went to Nigeria, I went to America, I wanted to go to America because they went to the moon. He didn't think of police brutality.
Yeah.
He didn't think you could get shot by a police officer.
Yeah.
He just believed, well, if Americans can go to the moon, that's the kind of country I want to be in.
And that's proving my point, though.
No, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, don't show me the nice parts of Nigeria because you're not moving nice regardless.
I'm saying we should tell a story of greatness, and even when we show our worst parts, we should be telling a story of overcoming and triumph. You know,
Yes, I agree with that.
If you show, the fact that, for example, a boy didn't get a chance to go to school, for example, but the story is told from the angle of look what he was still able to achieve. I think that it still instills a message of greatness and resilience and overcoming adversity. Whereas if you just say, look at everything, Nigeria, jaga, jaga, everything scatter, scatter, and you leave it there.
No, we have to though, because
you can't leave it
that's
there.
That's where it's on. Where else is it going? If you look at Nigeria across that Nigeria scatter, when was that song? What? 10 years ago, maybe?
Yeah.
10 years ago? How long has Nigeria been scatter? Damn near 50 years.
I know. But
So what I'm saying to you is his song is late.
yeah,
Since we were doing Sweet Banana. After that, we're doing Enjoyment Days.
Yeah.
My point is, for America, for instance, America sell you the dream of if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Now the truth is
that's
this:
New York.
it's America too. It's the land of opportunity, which is true.
Yeah.
But you could also die.
True.
You could also do so many things.
Yeah.
But for one thing I can tell you,
Yeah.
you can make it there.
Yeah.
And make it there, by the way, means have a nice home,
Yeah.
have a nice family, live the American dream.
Yes.
In Nigeria, the only stories that can reflect that is you can make it here, but you probably have to kill everyone. That's the only downside.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the stories we tell are a feedback loop, right? So it's not just a matter of telling what happens, but when you tell a story, you have a chance to almost rewrite what's going to happen.
Well, when I watch Nollywood movies, I get a feel of I'm not comfortable with who I am. I'm not comfortable in this skin.
That's what you get
From some of the movies, yeah. We have English names. We speak with over-exaggerated English accents.
Yes.
We talk about countries that, I'm going to Copenhagen, as if Copenhagen is the spot. We do
Copenhagen
things,
is popping.
we show and tell.
Yeah.
We believe wealth is having a gateman or a driver and living this superficial fantasy life. How much conflict do you see in Nigerian movies in terms of real things that are toxic within their nature? And I'm just talking about making two people get married who should never be together.
Yeah, I do see those. They definitely do those relationship dramas. They do some where it's like
Where the mummy's from the village.
they do those as well.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I like those
real like heart gut wrenching stories. They are there. But I think the thing about just telling stories about bad things is that those bad things get re-cemented back in as part of the identity. So it's like
thing,
if your child does bad, gets a bad grade, for example, you have every right to be like, this child's stupid. This child ain't gonna be nothing. But if you tell the child that, the child's gonna internalize it and then start acting like they ain't gonna be nothing. Whereas if you tell them, all right, you didn't get a good grade now, but you're smart, you're gonna do better.
Depends on how you look
He's
at
more
it.
likely gonna do better.
Because prior to Hood Stories coming out, if they didn't talk about the Hood Stories, they wouldn't talk about the Hood. They wouldn't look at the statistics. They wouldn't look and see how they can improve those areas. So it's not necessarily telling bad stories. I don't think Nigeria tells shows bad parts. I think they make bad stories. I think they tell bad movies. I would love Nigerian movies to have the gutter, and that's where the whole scene is, as long as it's a good story.
I think it's just a matter of like, in terms of building a society based on the narratives you tell. Even if you're telling a bad story, there needs to be some kind of triumph.
Here's the thing, though. America sells its narrative within America that projects to the world. Same as Britain, same as China. It's essentially for their people. That's why every time you say an American, it's a great American. The all-American dream. When you come to England, it's the Rooneys, it's the, Daniel Kaluuya is not going to get the same celebration as Benedict Cumberbatch if he wins an Oscar.
Yeah.
So what you notice is they're on home court. For Nigeria, it doesn't matter what Nigeria story it tells, as long as it's inspiring its people. But the inspiration Nigeria gives its people is to leave Nigeria.
That's my point, though. That's I'm saying that
so
if they told more stories of greatness within Nigeria,
okay,
as in like when you're telling like you're showing the gutter, you're showing like what people done, you show like a real story that people can get, that doesn't involve them becoming all of a sudden this superficial, over commercialized person, or if you show them like, oh, and then do you know what happened to Aaron? Aaron got visa to Canada. And now he's a multi-millionaire. Now that girl that rejected him in the village, he's crying tears.
So what you're saying is right. But you're talking about the story, because I thought you meant good parts of Nigeria, as in the story has to be, the road has to be nicely tarred, it's nice scenery, and Nigerians are eating with fork and knife, and we can drink tea from a cup. I don't need all of that. I want to see Nigerians using their hand and licking the fingers. And because the reason I lick my finger is not because I'm not woke, or I'm not, what do Nigerians call it, Ojuola. It's not because I'm not it's not because I'm bush. Yeah. It's because, have you had egusi before with the palm oil when they fried it, and it's beef stew, and sometimes you put it and it rolls down your hand. You've never chased it.
I've chased it, bro.
Okay. I straight out, you were dressed well, weren't you?
Bro, I mean, yeah.
You were at a party, weren't you?
Yeah, bro.
You looked twice and said, nah, this egusi's not getting away from me. That's what I want to capture, the why.
Yeah, bro, but I'm saying that, like, how you tell a story, right, has a lot to do with what your intentions and your aims are. It's not just a simple recording or documenting of what has happened or what you know. I think you have a responsibility to write what people are going to look at. When they do sci-fi movies, for example, it gives us a whole new perception as to what technology could be, even though stuff has never really existed, right? Yeah. When they show you, I think even when they started doing all these dramas in the States with a black president, I think that even that started putting into people's minds that a black person could be president of this country. I think, there's ways in which you can write into stories stuff that you want to see.
Yes.
And people start to visualize it because they're seeing it.
Yes.
And I'm saying that we have a responsibility not just to record everything that's happening, but to write a future. Imagine if you wrote a movie, right, where Nigeria was a place where there was a thriving middle class, people had social mobility, someone from a working class.
There is that, though.
I wouldn't say thriving, and I wouldn't say.
Oh, you mean middle class?
Yeah, thriving middle class.
Oh, you mean like, because essentially,
I mean, just like
there is a middle class, but yeah, go on.
There is a middle class, yes, but I'm saying a thriving, as in like most people can go to university, get a good job, and buy a home with their blah blah blah, and you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. If you wrote a story like that, even if people haven't seen it before or they don't believe that's really Nigeria, bit by bit they'll start to go, but that would be nice though. It would be nice if you didn't have to be an absolute millionaire just to live a decent life. Maybe if you could just have a decent job and have a home, like, that you'd be proud of, or you could move on up, or you could build wealth, or you could leave something for your kids. This would be good. Like, we don't need this big divide where some people have lots of money and a lot of people have very little. And bit by bit, the more you put that into people's minds, the more they will start to live that out. That's the point I'm saying. I'm saying that you as a movie maker has the opportunity to write a new Nigeria into a script. You have a right to write tomorrow's Nigeria.
New Americans into the script since the beginning of time.
And they've been seeing it come through.
Black people and white people can get along since the beginning of time. They've been writing all that stuff since the beginning of time.
Bro, I'm not saying it's full. I'm not saying it's witchcraft.
I don't think.
It's not spell, but
I don't think. I just don't agree with movie. I do agree movies influence the way we see the world, but it's wrong because, yes, the idea of a black president was written very well in the TV shows in 24, and next thing you know, Obama became president. But what's the significance of a black president? Do you see what I'm saying? To the people who were going through racism in that country, it's almost blindsides you because it was not a black president they were fighting for. Yeah. It was civil rights. It was the right to better healthcare. It was the right to the fact that a white woman cannot call the police on me and I have to go to jail for 10 years. And a black president doesn't stop that. So that's why I'm always worried about writing. But I understand what you're saying in the sense where if I was to show that, but my thing as a storyteller is always to try and remain. I think there is beauty within the. I think you should be able to see the beauty within that facial complex. The same way I see the beauty in the fact that I grew up in Hackney, where there was thugs on ends. Those were the same men that will help my mum carry her shopping. When you see a brother who you know will knock a man out or stab a man in a second, helping your mum carry your shopping, it gives you a different.
I agree with
perception of this person.
Yeah,
that's why a lot of people on ends are always protected by the people in their neighborhood because it's like you know them personally.
Yeah, but what you're just describing there is a version of what I'm saying. You're taking.
But it doesn't have to be middle class. Is what I'm saying. I think it could be
even if it wasn't. I just gave middle class as an example. But what you've just done is you've humanized the guy, right?
Yeah.
So now, if you consistently show, let's say that happened regularly to the point
I don't
where
want thugs to be helping with shopping though.
But let's say that happened. Let's say that happened in a few movies. Right. People would start to look at road guys and start to think, oh no, like I know they're tough, but they would help an old woman with her shopping because they just believe that they've seen it so many times. They believe that's who they are.
I don't know if black people will get that. I agree because it's worked with Italians and we don't really see them as gangsters. We see them as love to meet a wise guy. Yeah. No, this guy will put you in a trunk.
Of course,
in a second.
Maybe swimming with the fishes.
But the only thing is, no matter how much you humanize black people, we always get we don't get the benefit of the doubt. No matter how much you humanize us, because if that was the case, if it was true. The amount of stuff Denzel, I mean, I can name black people's names. The amount of things they've put into the world that are so positive, the amount of times they're depicted as positive, but we still get harassed for traveling.
I think they haven't managed to overcome it completely because the machine against them is much larger, but I think that they have had an impact. I think the way that we even see black actors is shaped by Denzel Washington. I think, the fact that people be like talking about John Boyega and say, oh, young Denzel, Damson Idris, oh, it's like a new Denzel.
Damson is definitely like a young Denzel, though.
So this is what I'm saying, that like that, what he's been able to do. Though? What I'm saying is that we've now got an image of when we see a young black man who can act, we're like, I got something for you in my head. I know I've seen this before.
But
there's greatness in you. You're going to be a huge star. You're going to do great movies. I can see it now.
Yeah, but the problem is we're not all going to be young Denzels, and we don't have to be. Mm-hmm. My problem is I don't care how many Damson Idrises do well. I don't need to be a Damson Idris or a Denzel Washington to get love from the country I live in. The standard's set too high for a black person. Why can't you be like Denzel? It's like, bro, first of all, you don't know Denzel. You just see the image of him.
Of course.
And second of all, that image is not transcended to me. No matter how many Denzel movies came out, Denzel had won an Oscar by the time I'd been pulled over by police. He had won an Oscar. A black president was in the office in America, and black men were still being treated like dogs. So for me, it doesn't match up when it comes to us. Our image doesn't improve the more there's so many positive black people in this earth, and it still doesn't.
There's also so much negativity out there.
But from everybody,
our balance is off though.
Nah, it never. It's impossible.
Every
serial killer you've seen on television, the majority of them are white. In fact, when they were looking for a serial killer who was black, the police didn't want to look into it because they said black people don't do this.
Yes, I know.
So then how is ours more?
Who's catching the serial killer?
The police.
And who do they show doing that? It's white guys as well.
But who hires white people? Who hires policemen? Who's in control of the system?
White people.
Right. So then it makes sense that they're hiring white people.
But that's what I'm saying.
So that we're not applying for it. By the way,
I know, but I'm using that to show you that the reason why that serial killer thing doesn't affect white people in the same way is because everybody in the story is white. Everybody in the story.
And they're on home court. It's designed like that.
Exactly.
It's not our fault. We would love to tell everybody. When Ted Bundy got arrested, the system helped him. They said he could have been one of us. They said he looked friendly and human, and you never saw that coming. But when a black person gets afforded, he would love the same treatment. But who's going to write for him? What, the black intern who no one's going to read his story?
No, but I'm saying that even within ourselves, like if let's say we wanted to let's say the creatives amongst us decided that we really didn't want certain things to continue in our community, certain behaviors. I can't think of any. I don't know, like knife crime or whatever. And we all constantly wrote stories where we were in charge and we stopped our own people from doing this.
But you don't write
so
a
white
story.
so white people weren't involved, right? So let's say like New Jack City, for example. Those were black cops, right? They saw the Carter basically turn into an absolute zombie den as the Young Money, Cash Money Brothers, whatever it is, took it over and turned it into a crack operation. They bring down the operation, right? As far as I'm concerned, for the most part anyway, white people have nothing to do with that movie. They're there obviously because it's America, but it's black cops, black criminals, right? Okay. In that situation, we're all able to watch that story and be able to see that, like, for example, there are some of us here who are, you know, they're criminals, but they also will pass out turkeys at Thanksgiving. Yeah, and then there are police officers who are passionate about the community. They've seen stuff happen and they want to end it.
But why do we need that lesson?
We need to, first of all, we need to change our mindset about who we are.
Why do we need that lesson of a black person can arrest them? Why do we need that lesson?
Because I'm saying we need to change the stories about who we don't identify with fixing crime. We identify more with criminals.
Do we?
I think in terms of our...
Because I don't identify with criminals.
I know you not.
Right. So who identifies with
I'm saying in terms of our public image...
Again.
Our public image, right? So when you see the average black... Let's take comedy as an example. You see the average black comedians spout a narrative that the audience is going to agree with about black people. Does he position us as the police or the criminal?
Depends on the comic you're asking me about.
But be honest. Be honest about what you've seen in terms of most of the black spaces you've been. Just go like average.
The average comic will deprecate to make the audience feel comfortable. Yeah. So would the gay person.
But what I'm saying is that most of them would be like,
yeah, because that's how you validate the police, right? Yeah, but that's how you. Again, who said we don't like the police?
No, but I'm saying that I'm saying that that's what the comic would say to the stage. Hey, you know, Bun 12, you know, F50, Bun the Pigs, whatever it is, and the crowd will mostly go with them. People who've never been in the life will be shouting no snitching. People identify more with criminal codes
because that's your life, though. A white person's not gonna come out and say Bun snitching if he grew up in Kettering. Like, where would he have a snitching story from?
That's what I'm trying to say to you.
But you talk about the life you know.
I'm saying there are black people who talk about this who don't know that life.
But I don't know any black comics who don't know about not snitching, that go and talk about on stage and say Bun snitching. I don't know any comics.
I'm saying that we see it all the time. We see it even with rappers who didn't live that life and they still feel the need to come with a gangster element.
Again, which rapper didn't live that life that does a gangster element? Which rapper?
Rick Ross.
He didn't live what life?
He wasn't moving packs. He was a prisoner. He was a correctional officer.
And you sure he didn't move any packs? He didn't sell any drugs.
I can't verify that at this point. But what I'm saying is that he's definitely telling a story because he did not come to rap to us about being a correctional officer.
No, but what did he rap? What is he rapping about?
He was
being a mafioso persona don, right?
Yes.
He's the big Rick Ross rose
yeah.
balling out thingy.
Yeah.
It's a persona that he's grown up on, which he probably did because a lot of rappers, but that's just one rapper.
I know, but I'm saying that persona is more readily received.
But what's wrong with that? It sells.
I'm not talking about what sells right now. I'm talking about in terms of if we're ever gonna build our own communities and solve our own problems.
We need to write better rap songs.
I'm saying that we need different stories.
Why? How is that going to change anything? Because I can give you different stories all the time, and they've never changed anything. Best Man's a different story. House Party's a different story. Friday's a different story. Yeah. Dope is a different story. These are all black movies that are totally different stories. Yes. Barbershop, beauty salon, all different stories. Still doesn't nothing for the black advancement. So for me, it doesn't change anything. I honestly believe it's not about how people see us. It's about how we see ourselves.
I agree.
And those stories, the idea that I'm gonna write good stories, for instance, about black people, it's not true because people are not good. Nobody's good. Black people are no more low down, ruthless than any other race that God created. Because God created us all equally. The only difference is we don't control the stories. If I write a movie about white people and show them as incest, rape. That's just my perception. Doesn't mean that's how white people are. But I can drill that narrative. In Nigeria, they say white people don't bath.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that like you can see direct impacts from what is shown in stories about people, what they take in about themselves, and then what they now bring out. I know that there's a lot of the way in which black women are depicted in shows like Real Housewives of Atlanta that leaks out, no pun intended, that leaks out into the general discourse. So when you're dealing with a black woman, she's gonna use phrases or modes of behavior that she's seen on that show, right? So
that's a shame that that's a shame that people are being raised by those shows. That's a shame.
That's true. That's true. But what I'm saying also is that when again, this is not about his extracurricular crimes and activities.
Kelly.
No, this one's Cosby now.
Oh.
But when Cosby wrote A Different World, black college admissions went up. So he basically said, I want to show what happens when
I saw women. Go on.
I want to show what happens when when my young black daughter goes to a historically black college that her father went to and meets this motley crew of friends and what their relationships, blah blah blah. It wasn't like too on the nose, like everybody make sure you go to higher education. It was just like, let me show you the stories. And there was all kinds of stuff in there. There was real, problems. They had people cheating. They had, people liking someone for, having long-term crushes. There was even a date rape episode. Yikes. And all of that happened, and we saw real life spike in admissions, right? I'm saying if we consistently do the reality TV stuff, the gangster stuff, the drug stuff,
which is what everyone does,
but we don't have.
I just told you alternatives. They just don't sell as much. If you want to watch alternative black movies, you can just spend your whole day doing that. But people don't want to watch that. They want to watch Real Lives of Hollywood. They want to watch Top Boy. They want to watch those shows. So it's not about if we continue. They are there. It's just if you have to go and watch for it. Because the truth is this: none of it is going to make any difference. You could tell a million and good 10 black stories in this Western region. We're hated, so it won't change the perception of us. Listen, I'll give it to you like this: we've been playing in the World Cup for years, African nations. The World Cup is a proud moment for every nation who goes into the World Cup. And the African teams took a photo. I think it was Senegal. I'm gonna go with Senegal. Yeah. They took a team photo where they all posed on each other, and Lord Sugar puts on his Twitter account. They remind me of the black people selling shades on the beach. Yeah. That image of positivity did not mirror up with in his mind. It was the niggas on the beach that came to his head. Yeah. So I'm of the fact that
those guys are entrepreneurs, though. Don't sleep on them guys.
And plus, don't even watch that. But my point is, I don't care about imagery or showing positive images of black people. Everyone can lick my nuts. That's a positive image for me. Because I've seen images of people around the world and it doesn't affect them in any slightest way. So it's not about our image or our story that needs to improve. Our stories need to improve, but from a character and three-dimensional standpoint. And that's all it is. If you want to write a story about the hood, give me a killer story. Because what does Martin Scorsese do? Godfather, Casino. What's it called? No, Martin Scorsese is not Godfather. He's Casino and Goodfellas.
Okay.
Right. Brooklyn's Tale. All wise guy stories, because he grew up amongst wise guys and he heard the stories and he used it to make the franchise that he does today. His best characters are mob bosses. Robert De Niro's best characters are all goons, but they're not treated any different. They're just good stories. So Boys in the Hood is an incredible story, and anybody who reduces it just to gangbanging and niggas on the block clearly missed the lessons in there. What's Snowfall? It's told the same way he told Boys in the Hood, with intellect, with intelligence, showing you that it's not a case of I just want to be a crack dealer. It was a circumstantial thing that happened, and you just had to run with it. And so my thing is, we tell our stories from how we want to see, from our viewpoint, so that it's not the way sometimes you see it.
Okay, we need to wrap up, but I just want to ask you one last question, just as a quick yes or no answer. If we were to count up the number of shows which are black people set in a drug dealing situation, and black people in an educational system, do you agree that there are more in the drug category?
Yes, okay. But I also say I don't care.
Okay. Do you think that has an effect on black children as they grow up?
No,
Okay. On that note, we need to wrap it up. We're gonna have to leave that one there. Where can the people find you?
You can find me. You can find me in the club. No, I'm joking. You can find me everywhere, man. At Fumbert and at the Blood. At Fumbi on social media. We're coming back.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that, but yeah.
At Ola the Comedian on anything. That's on anything.
That's on Hood.
And yo, make sure as always sign up to the Patreon, patreon.com/Ola the Comedian. Show us love. Appreciate you guys who are listening in. Appreciate the people listening from abroad. Appreciate the people who are listening on their TVs. People who are listening in the cars. People who are listening on their headphones on the commute. Even though you're commuting in a pandemic, all of you guys, you're all appreciated. Much love. Peace.
Yes.